Welcome to our new format for the Magic News Network. We decided after much thought and research to switch from a visual to audio. It's still an Association des Magiciens Internationaux production. Producer Anthony Darkstone and myself will present it as an old-style two-person radio program. More of a conventional feel, if you will. As a process of evolution, switching to the new format means that it is much more accessible as an audio as it does not require a screen. That means we can incorporate items that previously required visuals. Hello, Anthony. What items do you have to share with us about upcoming conventions and shows?
Hello, Michael. Great to start this new system and see where we go with it. Sounds like fun. Anyway, to answer your question, there are quite a few noteworthy happenings. AMI President Arthur Tivoli and Celine are continuing their La Fantaisie d'Arthur tour of shows. The shows began in early July and will be continuing at various locations throughout August and into early September. He's keeping quite busy, is our Monsieur le Président.
Mm-hmm.
Full details on the site, on his site rather, and of course his FB page. Upcoming live at the world-famous Magic Castle in Hollywood on the 7th to the 13th of August on the Palace of Mystery stage is none other than multiple award winner Juliana Chen. Master magician Mark Paul, who you and others will recall was a guest on the Darkstone dossiers a little while back, will be hosting a 4-hour mentalism workshop in Italy in October. Exactly. Hopefully, Michael, it will have cooled down a little bit because you may have heard they're cooking pizzas on the street in Italy at the moment.
Literally and figuratively. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's that hot. Well, anyway, he'll be part of the mind invention in Italy. So that's really something to look forward to. And all the details are at the mindinvention.net site. Now, the lineup includes Luc Germain, Mark Spellman, and Louis Laval. So, how good can it get?
Absolutely.
Mark Paul with all these people in a beautiful location, just outside of Naples, in the south of Italy.
Fantastic.
It is, and I hope to be there. Now, IBM, we featured IBM British Ring 25 in some of our previous Magic News networks, as you and others will recall. Well, as you know, their convention, IBM Magic Ring 25 convention, that is happening in September. Full details again on their website. It's very easy to look up IBM British Ring 25 and you'll find it. We've mentioned it before. Thank you. And it's worth mentioning again. One of our board members at Association Internationale de Magie, I'll get this right soon, Association des Magiciens Internationaux, is none other than Louise-André Douglas, and she is part of the cast.
Yes.
And, of course, Master Magician Lance Burton, I have no idea how he does this. The man must have absolutely super reserves of energy he keeps in his back pockets. But anyway, he's on the road again.
Yes.
August 11 in Grand Junction in Colorado. And August 12th in one of my favorite places, Santa Fe, New Mexico. What else? You asked me what else is coming up. Well, of course, another one of my favorite, all-time favorite conventions. I mean, I love them all, but I share a special fondness for this one for reasons that many know. The Texas Association of Magicians, more commonly known as TAOM, and as always, it's held over the Labor Day weekend in the U.S. This year, I'm delighted to say that Bill Merlin Palmer is the honoree.
Wow, he's great. Hmm.
He absolutely is. We've been good pals for, oh my gosh, well over a couple of decades. And he is. I mean, there's no other word to describe him as great in its fullest meaning. Now, he tells me that apart from wearing his uh, member of the inner magic circle with gold star from the magic circle, he said he will also wear his AMI pin badge button pinned to his jacket. Now, how wonderful is that?
It is.
So
Wow.
he's got it, and he you've got one of those pins as well, haven't you, Michael?
I do. I do. I'm
Yeah,
so excited about that.
you're quite fond of it, and anybody who wants one simply goes over to amimagic.club, https, etc., which everybody knows, colon slash slash AMI magic, and then dot club. There's no net or com, it's dot club. Anyway,
Yes,
we're I'm also now, you know about it, Michael, as you're
I
a board member,
do.
but here is the first time we're going to actually let everybody else know, and we'll be posting about it, that Bill Merlin Palmer has kindly accepted the role of an ambassador for our
Oh,
AMI. Well,
fantastic.
we
Wow.
indeed it is. We
What an
are, as you
honor. That's an
it
honor.
were for us. Indeed, it is. Yes,
Yes.
we're naturally pleased and delighted to have this great icon of magic in this role. We will make all the formal announcements, in due course down the line.
Of That's excellent. Wonderful news indeed. I'm quite proud of my pin. It's a good size that can be seen at a glance. Its design, size, and quality is ideal. That's because most pins are too small to be read, but an AMI lapel pin immediately lets people know that you're a magician. If anyone would like to own one, all they need do is head over to amimagic.club, that's AMI Magic, all one word, .club, and look at products and services that they too can proudly display by pinning it onto their jacket. Of course, all AMI certified members can have them at a discounted rate.
Absolutely, and of course, um, we have, as you know, because you helped put it up, the an FB group page for AMI, Associations de Magiciens Internationaux.
Yes,
And
yes.
speaking of the pins, all AMI certified members, i.e., those who have joined our private club and got a certificate, can actually order these pins at a discounted rate.
Any more happenings we should know about?
Well, as you know, Jeff McBride's Wonderground. Well, it's news from there. Now, I'm happy to state, as I was on the bill there over in Vegas at the Wonderground a few years ago, he's having a one-time event on September 21st, and he's calling it the Wonderground Reunion. Uh, Apparently, and I have this on good authority, the tickets are limited and they are selling fast. So I suggest to anybody who's interested to go to www.vegaswonderground.com. I think if you just put vegaswonderground.com, everything will come up for you. And speaking of Vegas,
Yes.
Magic Live will be taking place pretty much soon after people hear this broadcast. It's from the 6th to the 9th of August at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Now, the good thing about it is because it's at the Orleans Hotel and Casino, which is just over 2 miles off the strip in Vegas, that's a good thing. Because right now, and for the foreseeable future, to coin a phrase, getting around the strip and anywhere nearby is a nightmare because they're digging up roads and changing bridges. The bridge at the Tropicana, I was talking to my buddy Frank Zach, and he told me the bridge of the Tropicana is gone.
Wow.
So did Mark Williams.
Wow.
So there's a lot of construction.
Wow.
Well,
Crazy.
but it
Crazy.
is. But I'm sure they're all doing it for a good reason. Magic Live is sold out.
You're kidding.
No, not. It often happens, and it has. But the good news is there's a waiting list in case someone
Ah,
drops out. So I
excellent.
would urge all our listeners, if they're interested, not got themselves a ticket yet, to head over there and put your name on the waiting list. And
Yes, absolutely.
I've also just found out. Do you recall that we did our second Ami Gala show,
I do. I just
and
looked
on
at
it,
it.
and on it, we had Solange and indeed Arcadio Jose,
Oh, they were
who
fantastic. Yes.
they are, aren't they? She together with him, obviously, they both won the Guinness Book of Records in Italy for, I think it was 26 quick changes in a minute.
You have to see it to believe it. People out there,
You
if you
you do.
haven't seen it, you have to see it.
Yeah, you got to see it. Well,
Yes.
reason I'm saying that is that they're also going to be at Magic Live. I'm not sure yet. I cannot confirm it if they're going to be performing, but I've heard whispers that they may be doing a little something there. So that's another reason.
You know the Orleans quite well.
Well, oh yes, fond memories. Literally back in the day, some 20 years ago, my son and I opened there for the late Steve Dackery. So that was really quite something. It's changed quite a bit since then, as you can imagine.
Sure.
But it's a good location, and it's a good place to go. I can thoroughly recommend it. Anyway, on the topic of Vegas, you yourself picked up some interesting news to do with Siegfried and Roy. Is that right?
Indeed, I do. Some will recall in an earlier MNN, we covered an item relating to the private residence of Siegfried and Roy. As I understand it, the Carden family, who bought Siegfried Fischbacher and Roy Horn's original Las Vegas home to preserve it as a shrine, are putting in as much as $1 million in renovations and furnishings and will meet with neighbors and residents to determine its future use. George Carden and his son Brett of the Carden Circus International, based in Missouri, paid $3 million for the home. Family representative Wally Eastwood, a longtime performer on the Strip, said that there are no plans to turn the 2-acre estate into an overnight rental, but instead the family is focusing on renting it out for weddings, corporate gatherings, celebrations, and other events. They would like to open the home for tours if possible. Quote, right now we're still renovating the property because there's a lot wrong with it, because it's an old property, unquote, Eastwood said. Quote, we're putting a bunch into it and to get it up and running and good again and bringing it back to what it once was in its glory days. Once we do that, we're going to invite the neighborhood to a party and see if we have a lot of good support from the neighborhood, and then go before the Las Vegas City Council and see what we're allowed to do and take it from there, unquote. Eastwood said it feels like the family has a lot of community support for its preservation of the property and potential uses. We're not sure what we're allowed to do or not do if we want to make it a museum/venue. That's up in the air. But right now we're trying to get the property working correctly. That's taking so much of my time, unquote. Eastwood also said that it feels like the family has a lot of community support for its preservation of the property and potential uses. Known as the Jungle Palace, the Valley Drive home served as Siegfried and Roy's residence when they performed at the Mirage from 1990 to 2003 and kept many animals on site. Their nearly 100-acre estate in North Las Vegas, known as Little Bavaria, later served as their primary home until their deaths in 2020 and 2021, while the Valley Drive home was used for their management office. George Carden, a friend of the late Siegfried and Roy, said he bought the home as a way to preserve it. Little Bavaria was sold in 2021 and is being turned into apartments. The Jungle Palace, main home, was built in 1954 and measures 8,750 square feet. It has 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 2 partial baths, and an indoor jacuzzi.
That's not bad, as you say, for $3 million. And I suppose they're going to throw in another million. That's $4 million. Yeah, if only I had known before that, I'd have jumped in too. Yeah, right. uh, well, yeah, well, I think, on a serious note here, um, myself, you, and I guess many other folks as well, would really sincerely hope it all works out, you know.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
I, I, I'm going to share a really silly story with you if I can.
Sure.
I'm chuckling at it. Back in the day, I mean, seriously, back in the day, former Las Vegas star Steve Daly, many will know the name. He was known back then. He decided to take us in his van on a midnight tour
Oh, wow.
in Vegas when
Yeah.
it wasn't not so hectic in those days. It was well after midnight, I should say. It was quite early hours in the morning. So we're in this van, and we said, "Okay, would you like to see Siegfried and Roy's home?" Well, yeah, sure. So he drives us over there. All the animals at that time were safely housed on another side of the property. I have no idea where.
Hmm.
And we couldn't get in or anything because it was all closed, and the big S and R on the gates and stuff like that. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, this black creature started to pace across, and everybody with us kind of went, "Oh, look, a pygmy panther!" Of course, it was just one of those silly things that happened at
uh,
3 in the morning, when you
oh.
finish the gig and you're just hanging out and being silly. Well, of course, what it really was just an ordinary black house cat.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's hope it all works out for the property. Changing the topic, we have, starting on the 3rd of August, we have a special quiz coming up. What's this all about?
There's going to be some posts about it on our FB, group, and also elsewhere. I know you very kindly make posts about these things in many places.
Yes.
The quiz itself will go live on the 3rd of August and is accessible to everybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter, everyone. Yes. Um,
Yes.
it's kind of a fun thing that was put together. And it's kind of like a multiple choice thing. There are 3 answers to every question, and you got to choose the right one. All the answers are actually scattered about through the website,
Uh-huh.
right? So I also know that you've created a special link on YouTube, which is the AMI channel for some of
Yes.
the Darkstone dossiers and gala shows,
Yes.
etc. And folk can access that by going to YouTube. But to jump back, and the reason I mention that is the quiz has 10 questions. Anybody can answer them or have an attempt to enter, and they win a prize. Well, many folks will know about Alexander May and his amazing products out of sponge that he
Yes.
creates that are sold in Murphy's, Penguin Magic, etc. I mean, he got some stunning reviews from some of the greats in the business
They're
on his
quite
product.
amazing. They look like real donuts and other objects, and they're just so cool.
They are. I mean, Dan Holland's been raving about them, and I think Alexander's put a post up about it. Anyway,
Yes.
once again, if folks go to the AMI Magic.club site, Magic.club site, under products and services, there's a lot about Alexander May.
Yes.
But what happens after you enter the quiz? Well, like all good quizzes, you got to have a prize. So the people with the correct number of answers, if it's 10 out of 10, fine. If 6 people get only 9 out of 10 and nobody gets 10 out of 10, that's okay. What I'm trying to say is that all the kind of correct answers, or as close to correct as numbers correct, they go in a hat. They get drawn. And the lucky winner gets 2, not 1, but 2 Alexander's superb donuts.
That sounds like fun. Anyone can take part and there's no charge to enter?
No, it's absolutely free. Anyone from anywhere can enter. In fact, the more people from all over the planet who enter, we encourage it. It's a lot of fun. And here's the bonus thing. Where and when are the names that get them correct go into the hat?
Yes.
12th of August on a special Zoom show called An Evening with Alexander May.
So cool. So
It
cool.
is.
Yes.
It gets better. It gets better, Michael.
What?
Because yes, it does. On that show, before the prize draw, Alexander will be talking a little bit about the process that he employs to make these incredible products,
Wow.
and giving a mini lecture and tutorial. And it's all free.
Wow. Wow. That's
No charge.
unbelievable. Wow.
No charge. So people get a chance to have some fun and a chance to win a couple of his donuts. They get to watch a very cool, I mean, I know what's in it, a very cool mini lecture and an actual tutorial. Because, if you're pulling 6 bananas out of your hand,
Yes.
The sponge ones, there is a right and a wrong way of doing it.
Absolutely.
So he's going to be able to actually teach people how to do that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be making some posts about it on our AMI FB page. And you yourself, I know, will be kindly spreading the word to everywhere from the Magic Circle to the SAM to other places and many of the IBMs in Canada and elsewhere.
As we are retaining our producer's pick, do we have one for this month?
Indeed, I do, Michael. I always liked the idea of having, well, we just call it producer's pick because I picked it.
Yes. So it
Not
has
because,
nothing to do with guitar playing or music or anything.
not at all, not at all.
Okay.
Just pick that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this one, I thought was really nice, really, really nice. It's from a letter that William Hillar wrote to T. Nelson Downs.
Wow.
If you've not heard of either gentleman, I suggest you look them up.
Yes.
Now, to quote from the letter, it's the magician that makes the trick, not the trick that makes the magician.
Wow. So true. So true.
It is. It
Huh.
is.
Huh.
Now, speaking of letters and writing, as many folks know, and for those who don't know, you've published several books on various topics, obviously magic as well. But there's one that I'm particularly fond of because I know the chap who wrote the foreword for it, and that is Ghosts and Spirits. And that's being lauded by a lot of people. Tell us a little bit about that.
In it, I explore the phenomena and myth of ghosts and spirits, including modern day origins, manifestations, and hoaxes. From charlatans who profess to contact the dearly departed via channeling and mediumship, to stage professionals who present experiments for entertainment purposes only. Also covered are ages old techniques for developing one's psychic ability and intuition.
Now, I think this book is particularly good also, not I think, I know, because without actually tipping anything, shall we say, you lay out a roadmap of how some things can be performed.
Thank you, Anthony. I believe you have some news from Luna Shimada to share.
Yes, I do. Luna and I have been, good friends for many years, and I like to describe her as a sister friend. Yes. Now, recently, folks will know she made the cover of MUM, which is the Society of American Magicians monthly magazine, a couple of months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a wonderful article written there by another dear friend from Colorado, another great, wonderful magician called Autumn Morning Star. I mean, she's just amazing and does a whole magic act based on a Native American theme.
Yes.
Well, on that, Magic Welt, Magisch Welt, that's how you pronounce it in German, I'm told.
Yes.
They decided to also put Luna on the cover of that and, run it all in German. And those who know Luna will know she's, moved from one end of Vegas to a little bit further out on the other side of Nevada, not too far, but in a different home to house many of her animals and what have you. I've not been to the new home; I've been to the old one, obviously, and she's building a theater. The old theater in our old home, which she sold, was really something quite wonderful, and she's in the
Wow.
process of building another one.
Very
And
exciting. Hmm.
speaking of it is, yeah. And speaking of, they recently had a party, and I think everybody who's anybody in Vegas attended it
Wow.
because her daughter turned 21, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But now, speaking of another Vegas wonderful lady, who originally is, as her name suggests, from England, but she's been in the States for some time and is very well known as a Vegas star. I mean, it's the only way I can describe her.
Yes.
Um, Now, I wrote a piece about her, I think, in MUM a couple of years ago, and you've got some news about her, haven't you?
Holly England will be part of a movie that is being shot in North Carolina. Meanwhile, she can be seen most nights at Late Night Magic in an after dark experience designed for adults only. Featuring a cast of four, this show is edgy, taboo, mysterious, and hilarious, specifically produced for mature audiences only. These magicians have been seen on stage at major Las Vegas strip hotels and the Magic Castle in Hollywood, as well as on national and international TV shows like America's Got Talent, Ripley's Believe It or Not, Masters of Illusion, Penn and Teller Fool Us, Showtime at the Apollo, and Ghost Adventures. Vegas411.com calls Late Night Magic an uproarious variety show that packs dazzling illusions, raunchy comedy, and dark shocks into one rapid fire package. And Fox 5 calls this magical cast of misfits the Avengers of Magic. Late Night Magic is a magical variety show that features sideshow stunts, mind blowing mentalism, visual and optical illusions, risque jokes, and amazing manipulation. The show explores the dark, the taboo, the hilarious, and also the sexy side of magic and illusions. It's been lauded as one of the best magic shows in Vegas. It comes with its own warning label. This show is for adults and contains explicit content.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of fun. And I can tell you, Michael, I personally know some of the cast members and worked with a couple of them on the bill back in the day. And I tell you, man, I can absolutely recommend Late Night Magic. One of the people who kind of turns up there quite a bit is Bizarro. I've known
Ah,
him, and yeah, and he's the sweetest, kindest guy. I remember at a gig in Vegas, my sound or something went crazy, and he just stopped everything he was doing, came over and fixed it. Oh, coming away from Vegas, I got to just jump in right here and say very quickly, and we'll be putting up posts. We have a few things, but we'll be publicizing it even more. There were two new committees. Well, we haven't had any others. These are the first committees ever uh, that are in the works for AMI.
yes.
One is the diversity committee that's chaired by Milan Schaller, and the more about that as we move along down the line, as they say. And the other one, while you're here chatting with me, is the AMI Paranormal Committee, because that's chaired by you.
Yes. That's going to
Who
be
else?
awesome.
Highly qualified. Of course, only certified members are allowed to join the committee. They have to be members of AMI to be fair, yes? And
Yes.
they participate free of charge as a member, there's nothing to pay, at various of the upcoming events. So, what sort of plans can I ask you to share with people now?
Quite a lot. In a nutshell, we will cover many topics such as runes, tarot, psychic phenomena, ghosts, spirits, and things beyond the veil. In fact, all the many things that fall into the definition of paranormal and esoteric matters.
Absolutely. I, for one, as you know, am very passionate about all things paranormal and
Yes.
esoteric. So I'm very much eagerly looking forward to that, and getting all our folks to join on the committees, etc. And again, everybody can keep informed by visiting the AMI site and checking the AMI FB group as things evolve and come to fruition. And as it says on the site, let's just do this as well quickly. A thought came into my head.
Sure.
Eventually, we won't go into the long story behind it, but it was a long story behind it. But eventually, the private club that we have is called Associations Magiciens Internationaux. We wanted the acronym to read AMI, which, as you and everyone else knows, is friend in
Yes.
French. And we
Yes.
just want this to be a friendly, club. The sub motto, as you know, Michael, is "It's all done with kindness," which is a David Devant quote.
Yes.
David was the first president of the Magic Circle. And this is what we want to do. We want to bring back the joy, the delight, no egos, no, jealousies, and just fun getting together of like-minded people and, helping each other out, just being kind generally.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to all that is planned for August, and indeed also in the very near future. That about wraps it up for this edition, and so from producer Anthony Darkstone and myself, thank you for listening. Have a great August, and don't forget to check out the AMI website and enter the quiz. Until next time, Anthony and I bid you bonne chance and farewell.